everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and today this video is the last in a series of videos that we've been doing showing all of you our board gaming library. And I think this is the fifth part?
Yes.
This is the fifth one we've done. This is the remainder of our library that we're going to talk about today, and let's get started. You want to start? You want to start with this?
Sure, we can start with Hive Pocket.
We'll let Lori tell you about Hive.
This is one I just carry around in my purse. We've played it on trains, we've played it in restaurants.
Airport.
It's just little tokens. They've got bugs on them. It's like playing chess. Each bug does a different move. It's just a nice little travel game.
Yeah.
They make it in a bigger version, but this is the one we like. It's more portable and it gets played more that way.
And we'll be on a flight on an airplane and probably play that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, over and over and over.
We played
just to
it
pass the time.
We played it on a plane. We played it on a train.
Yeah.
We haven't played it in an automobile. We'll have to do that.
Look at there. There we go.
And we have the game. These are all the little games that are normally.
Yeah, we're going to talk
over
about
in
these
the
little box
cabinet.
games, yeah.
We've played this game at 3. We've played it at 2, but I predominantly play this one solo. It's just a fun game when I'm just sitting, wanting to do something. All you're doing is you've got cards numbered 1 through 100. You're trying to get one stack to go up, one stack to come down. It's difficult to do. I think I've won it like maybe once. You're considered to have done well if you get down to 7 cards. I've made that a couple times.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's stick them over here.
Okay.
Then we have Queen's Collection. This is.
How'd we end up with that?
It was on Kickstarter with another game. I forget what the other game was. But it's just a bunch of cards, and each card is a picture of a Queen game. And you get little markers, and you mix them all up, and the object is to move them around and get them all onto the color of the card that they are.
Yeah.
Matching, you need to have all the blues on here, all the yellows on here, all the reds. It's harder than it sounds.
Real hard.
It's a cute little game, but it's a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get all the little markers the same color on the card that they're supposed to be on, and it's quite a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah. All
We
right.
need to talk about that one.
This is Hanami Koji. If you've watched my videos, you've heard me talk about Hanami Koji. I love this game. It's a perfect little game. It's the only way I can describe it. It's only a 2-player game. 2-player only. So your opponent is across the table from you. You lay out those, I think 7 or 8 geisha cards, and it has a token on them. And when the token is on your side of the card, you get the credit for that geisha. And when it's on the other side of the card, your opponent gets that. And then you have a regular sized deck of cards that you use for both of you, and you have a hand of cards, and you're going to take 4 actions, and after those 4 actions are over with, the round is over. You play 3 rounds and see who wins the game, but again, you know, someone may win the second round or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you only have these. Each action has a little tile, and once you use that action, you flip that tile over. I mean, the game is insanely deep for this little box.
Yeah.
And the rule set is very small, very simple rule set. But man, I tell you, the strategy is one that you keep developing the longer you play Hanami Koji. Okay, enough about you. Get away, Hanami Koji. I'll talk about you all day. Ugly Christmas Sweaters is a game that we got off Kickstarter.
Yes.
And Hunter R. Henniger is the developer of this game. Now, you can only get this on the Board Games
BGG store.
BGG
as far
store.
as I know.
Yeah.
Right, you can get it there.
But I'll show you the back of that. And I've done it before, and hopefully that's
I can put a picture on
in
the screen,
focus.
too.
But you're just simply trying to lay down cards to make ugly Christmas sweaters, and you have goal cards, personal goal cards, and public goal cards that you're trying to hit. And it's just a lot of fun. We get it out every Christmas and play.
It's nothing difficult about it. We just play it at Christmas.
Super fun though. This is one we hang on to, Castles of Burgundy, the card game, because I like to play it solo. I think Lori went on a trip for a few days up to Atlanta, and I left this on the table, and I played it probably 8 or 10 times during her absence. So I really enjoy it. It's a Steffenfeld game and a lot of fun. Okay, keep going. Friday, this is a solo game, and I like to play this too. It's by Friedman Freeze, and he also did a game called
Fearsome Floors.
Yeah, Fearsome Floors.
He has a lot of games.
Yeah, he has some. I think Fayum is his newest game, something like that. But this is a solo game that you can play and try to survive on an island. It's a deck of cards, and you're just you can play them different ways. So it's kind of a challenge. Okay, then this little card deck we've had for a long time. It's called Star Realms.
One of our first games.
Yeah, it actually is. That's one, and it's a very simple little card game where you are, is it 2-player?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-player only?
Yes.
Doesn't say, does it? Yeah, it is.
2
Okay, so it is a 2-player only game, and you are laying down cards in your tableau.
You're trying to attack them.
Yeah.
You're trying to get points, enough points.
I forget. The art on the cards is very nice. This is a science fiction version. There's another version called Hero Realms. This takes place in the fantasy world, which is less attractive to us, but the science fiction one we really, really like.
You're attacking your opponent with cards. They set up bases and outposts to try to prevent you from attacking. They have to get through the base and the outpost before they can get enough points to attack your ships. And then whatever points you have left, it scores like Animo.
Yeah.
Whatever points you have left after you attack the ships, you score.
And then my grandson likes to play this.
Yeah.
My 15-year-old grandson, so he enjoys Star Realms.
And it's fast.
Yeah, fast game, easy
And
rules.
it takes up
setting.
no space.
Yeah.
You can take it with you when you travel, but it does take some space to play. So it's you have to have a table to play it on.
Okay, there you go. You talk about that.
Beasty Boards. I picked this up off Kickstarter. It is by Corne von Morsel and Peter Joustra. Corne von Morsel did Habitats, and I really enjoyed that game. And he also did Nova Luna, co-designed that one. This is just a little box of glass animals and some cards. And you roll a dice, and you place your animals, or place a marker that says, I don't want to place an animal. Whoever has the biggest groups of animals wins. It's just a silly... Easy, quick, doesn't take up a lot of space. Fun little game. 2 players.
And the cards are a modular board that you lay out, so you're moving your
Yes.
animals around this modular board, row at a time. It's got some strategy to it.
Yeah,
so
it does.
It's
It
a lot of
definitely
fun.
does.
It's pretty cool. All right.
Okay, we have row
Go ahead.
bits. This is a little bit along the lines of Ugly Christmas Sweaters, but easier. All you're doing is you're making robots with cards. And if the robots are all the same color, you get more points for them. We got this game. We won it. International Tabletop Day. We won it in a raffle several years ago. And our grandkids love it. That's why we hang on to this one. They'll sit and play it and giggle. And
Over and over.
they'll play it over and over and over. Yeah, they really like this one.
All right. This game is a 2-player only game called Bonanza The Duel, and it's the little brother of the Bonanza board game by Uwe Rosenberg. It's a card game that takes a little bit of time to play. Yeah, you're a bean farmer.
Yeah.
Trying to get the proper beans, because it's a deck of cards, and the beans all have numerical values on them, and you're trying to get them in order or something. I can't exactly remember how it goes, but man, it's an amazing game. One of Uwe's best. And then this game is called, Tybor the Builder, and
Oh my goodness.
Oh My Goods. These are a couple of nice little card games that have a big time Euro game feel
Again,
to them
this
when you
is
play
like
them.
playing a big board game
Yeah.
when you play these games.
In Tybor the Builder, you just have a hand of cards you're going to draft back and forth for each other, and you're hiring workers and hiring craftsmen to build buildings, and your citizens give you points and so forth. And then, oh my goods, you're building a goods making machine with the cards, so that you're you're making coal or whatever the goods are.
Yeah.
And so those are our little boxes that we keep around.
I mean, these little box games don't take up a lot of space, but there's a lot of game in these little boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a really good time just with that little pile of games.
Yeah, and playing. And some of them are really deep. Like I say, Oh My Goods and Tybor the Builder and Hanami Koji, just keep playing it over and over and enjoying the heck out of it and getting better at it as you play them.
Oh My Goods has an expansion that makes it into like a campaign game. We don't have.
Long as they don't revolt.
Yeah, long as they don't revolt. Okay, here
Let's
we
move
go.
on. Go ahead.
Seikatsu, A Pet's Life. Seikatsu has been around for quite a while, but it's birds and flowers. The Pet's Life has cute little animals, so you know I'm going to choose the one with the cute little animals.
It's a reskin of Seikatsu.
Reskin of regular Seikatsu, yes.
But it's cute.
It's actually very, very fun to play, and there's a lot of strategy to this little game.
And there's what, 3 players?
It can play 3 players.
Yeah, that's it.
We play 2, of course, but it does play 3. I think you can play 4, but if you play 4, I don't remember how it plays. It plays kind of strange if you play with 4, but it does play up to 4 people. We've never done it anything other than 2, but it's a lot of fun.
Abstract strategy.
Abstract strategy game.
Yeah, you got these thick little checkers with all the animals on them, and the way you lay them on the board is how you're going to...
You're trying to group the animals, and then it matters if they're in color, if the colors match.
So
Sorry, I interrupted.
there's a little bit of strategy to it, and we enjoy it. And it's a game you can set it up and play it in 15 minutes. I mean, sometimes I love that.
Yeah, it says 30. It doesn't take 30.
Yeah.
Unless you're really going slow, it's not going to take.
And I think all your little your color, you have one color and it's all in a bag and you're pulling them out one at a time.
Yeah.
And you got to play that one. Like, what am I going to do with that
Yep,
one? You know,
yep.
that kind of thing. So pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh gosh, we wouldn't keep it. It wasn't fun. Okay, let's talk about Lords of Waterdeep. I was watching Broken Meeple. If you guys watch that channel, Luke Hector, his channel over there does a wonderful job, by the way. If you haven't checked him out, please do, over at Broken Meeple. But he was talking about how much he likes Settlers of Catan. And sometimes he feels like he has to make an excuse for that. Yeah. But Settlers of Catan is a classic game. The only reason we don't have it is plays 3. It's three player. We don't keep it for that reason, but it's a classic. And if you're in love with those games like Carcassonne, don't get rid of them. I mean, they still play great. And Lords of Waterdeep falls in that category for me. It's a worker placement game in a wonderful Dungeons and Dragons supposedly world. And we've tricked this game out. We've got like.
Well, instead of using cubes, we have meeples that look like people.
Yeah.
Because they're people, but they're cubes, and I didn't like looking at cubes.
Yeah.
I've got people.
Yeah. So and the artwork on the cards and so forth is just wonderful on tiles. I love this game. I have a good time playing it.
It plays 2 to 5.
So. This is Pioneer Days by Matthew Dunstan and Chris Marling. I know Matthew Dunstan did Elysium, so he's an experienced board game designer, and we really like Elysium. Mm-hmm. We've played that before, and Pioneer Days takes place back in the Pioneer Days. Go figure. But you have some disasters that you have to face, and you're drafting dice, trying to make action selections with those dice. And I love dice drafting games. This has beautifully engraved dice for starters, and this game was just a lot of fun for us.
You have
Plays
like
2
a
to 4.
little wagon train you're setting up, your little wagon train, and you have to put things in your wagon so that when the disasters happen, you've got stuff in your wagon to avert the disasters. Otherwise, you of course get penalized. And you're trying to deliver things to the town and manage your townsfolk, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
You have to make some tough choices because you have to decide: am I going to let that disaster hit me? And every once in a while, you'll say, "What the heck, hit me!" Because I need this other thing. I'm just going to let the disaster do whatever to me.
But you got gold and cows and it's just, and like you said, the dice are amazing.
Yeah, dice drafting is one of our favorite mechanisms for sure.
Il Vecchio, another TMG game.
Okay, Il Vecchio by Rudiger Dorn. What would I say?
Hot diggity Dorn.
Hot diggity Dorn. I love Rudiger Dorn. He does some games that are right there where we like to play when it comes to complexity and depth. And Il Vecchio is a pick up and deliver game. I just love this game. We haven't had that long.
No, we haven't had that very long at all. It was hard to find.
Yeah, so we picked it up and played it a couple of times, and I really, really love it.
But we enjoy pick up and deliver. Some people despise pick up and deliver. Yeah. We really enjoy it.
We do enjoy it.
We had a lot of fun with that one.
With Il Vecchio.
You're just moving around your little areas, picking stuff up and taking it someplace else.
And there's
up and deliver.
Yeah, there's a few rules to doing that. Yeah, that's what it's about. All right, Michael Kiesling's Miyabi. And this is published by Haba Games. 2 to 4 players, and it's kind of the back of the box.
We haven't had this one very long either.
Yeah,
it's a fairly new game. That's a 2020 game.
Is it 2020?
I believe so.
Tell you what, though, this game is really cool. And this is, if you are familiar with Haba, they do family weight games, and this one's a little deeper than that.
Yes.
And is there an expansion here?
There's 4, I think, expansions in there that really ramp up the difficulty if you want to.
This game, it takes some thought.
You're using polyominoes, but you can stack them in certain ways.
Yeah.
And you get points for how stacked they are, and you can only place one in each column, and you have to lay the little guy down and say, I already placed in that column, I can't put another one there. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about this game, and after watching it played a few times on YouTube, we decided, you know what, that is right up our alley, and we picked it up and have not been sorry. As a matter of fact, I'm itching to play it right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn off the camera and I'm going to set this up.
We probably will play this when we're done.
All right. The Princess, let's see, Principe of Firenze. This is the Princess of Florence, the deluxe edition that I just got.
I was going to say, this is the newest game because it just arrived like, I don't know, 4 days ago, maybe.
Yeah. And we have the original, well, not the original. We have a copy of Princess of Florence.
We have the
2010. Because it came with a rule book for 2 players. Yeah. And so I wanted to make sure that I understood how that game played it too. So that's the copy that we received, and I loved it. And as soon as we played it, I was just in love with it. And it's in my definitely my top 40 games of all time. I don't know how high up, but I mean, it could be anywhere in my top 20. I mean, it's that good. It would be anywhere on the list. It's so fun to play. And this particular one is all in Italian.
It's in Italian.
Yeah.
Everything's in Italian, so you have to know how to play Princess of Florence to play this game, because there's no English anywhere.
No, there's no English anywhere, and so you would have to like print a rule book off of Board Game Geek in English in order to play this.
And even the cards, you have to get paste-ups of the cards. Now, some of the cards, they've got icons. They change to icons, so that's good.
Iconography instead of text.
And it's amazing how much Italian we can figure out knowing how to play the game.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a numbered copy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a numbered copy. They're only making 1,500 of them, and they are on the Board Game Geek store.
Board Game Geek store, yes.
Yeah, Board Game Geek store. So we got 594 of 1,500, and that's a pretty small print run for a board game. And it's just they just made the tiles more beautiful and thicker, and and the cards have art on them instead of just text.
It was just text before, yes. Now there's art and icons.
Hey, if you got Princess of Florence, that whatever edition you have, this game is magnificent. That's the point. And
I just wanted to get this for him because that's one of his favorite games. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, well, we'll figure out how to read Italian.
Yeah. Oh, and this game is by Kramer, right?
Yeah.
Wolfgang Kramer and Jens Christopher Ulrich.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, favorite board game designers, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see after we've played it. We haven't played this one yet, actually. We played the other version, but we haven't played this one. But we can't wait.
Okay, this is Mercator by Uwe Rosenberg, another pick-up and deliver game. And this is a race to finish the 10th contract or something ridiculous. I forget what it is, but you're completing one contract so you can get the next contract so you can get the next and so on. And I think like
once one person takes the final contract, then that triggers the end of the game.
Triggers the end of the game and you do the final scoring. But it has little tubs that come with it. And
I'll put a picture up.
All the cubes are going to sit on the board in cutouts. I mean, it's a wonderfully produced game, and has a solo variant.
Cubes. Yeah, all cubes.
1 to 4 players, 45 to 90 minutes. We play in about 45 minutes. It's one of the few Uwe Rosenberg games that we keep
of his long ones.
Yeah,
and we keep a lot of the shorter ones.
Well, this one says 45 minutes, and I think we play in 45 minutes. But there's some of his bigger games that take a lot longer than that, and it just isn't our cup of tea.
We've played them all, and I enjoy them, but they take a little too long to me to have fun.
But Mercator, man, I love this game.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Super duper. All right, Tungaru by Louis and Stefan Maltz. Louis and Stefan Maltz were the co-designers of
Rococo.
Yeah, Rococo. Well, another game that we absolutely love. It was in an earlier video, I hope.
Yes.
and Rococo is... I think it's in my top 10 all time. I really, really love that whole game. And Tungaru, man, I tell you, we're in love with this game. I am. I just
bought it off Kickstarter, not knowing anything about it other than you watched a playthrough, and it was by...
Yeah, the Maltzes.
The Maltzes.
And we had played Valparaiso, which is a fun Euro-style game. And so we went ahead and backed this on Kickstarter, and I'm glad we did. I really enjoy it. It's a dice game where the starting player rolls the dice, puts those 3 dice in their canoe, and everybody has to put those dice in their own canoe. So there's
no bad dice roll.
Yeah.
You all have the same thing to deal with.
Whatever the first player rolls, those are the dice values on those 3 dice that you're going to use. And it is magnificent, man.
This little island, you're moving your canoe around from island to island, picking stuff up, and dropping it off.
Yes, and you have a hand of cards. Each card has a different function. Once you use it, you pass it to your neighbor. So if you use your worker, which is one of the cards, if you use your worker card, you're going to give it to your neighbor. You may not get it back.
If they want to hang on to it like some people do.
You may not get that card back, and that's part of the strategy. This game is just wonderful. The decisions are difficult. If you have analysis paralysis, this game will do it to you. Because from the very beginning on which card to choose, you're going to sit there and think, okay, those are the dice. I'm there by that island. That's available on that island. Do I want to get a card that can help me move?
It's got really nice components. The production of it's really well done.
Wonderful,
nice,
wonderful.
Real nice game.
2 to 5 players.
Yes.
Awesome. Then we have Notre Dame by Stefan Feld.
And this is our last Stefan Feld. I said in the last video that was the last Stefan Feld, but this is the last Stefan Feld. I forgot about this one.
And I think she probably said that 3 times now.
Probably.
But Notre Dame, if you haven't played it, came out in 2007. This is the 10th anniversary edition, which meant nothing to Aaliyah Games, other than they stuck a couple of little expansions in there.
I guess.
But this
The
game,
components are nothing to write home about.
and you have to store it like this, or the game board itself will warp.
Because
I mean,
it's a modular board and
Yeah.
they're small, and if you stand it up, they warp. So we have to leave it flat.
you have to leave it flat. But I mean, the game is worth owning. It is magnifitent. The
Gotta
strategy.
fight off rats.
Yeah, what the heck? You know, I mean, it's what is it? Provinces or districts around
Yeah.
Notre Dame or something. And oh yeah,
It is Notre Dame. Yeah, I think it
So
is.
it's,
I think it's probably in Notre
so
Dame.
you're playing the game in each one of those boards. Is a province around Notre Dame.
You've got a little carriage
Yeah.
and you're running around with your carriage.
Yeah, and one of them's yours, and you get a little bit of benefit for your area or whatever. But man, that's pretty cool. It's a great game.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. This is a game called Shakespeare, and Shakespeare. We had trouble finding before, didn't we?
Game by R.V. Regal.
R.V. Regal. I don't know who this person is,
But he's
this
amazing.
game is in my top
Or
10
she. Could
all
be a
time.
she.
It's in my top 10 games all time. Absolutely
It's a wonderful
beautiful,
game.
man. This game is incredible, and oh gosh, I'll show you the back of the box, but it is beautiful. The art on these cards is probably, if it's not the most beautiful, it is,
Right up there.
Right up there, the most beautiful card art.
But you're putting on a play.
Of any game that we have.
You have to have actors. You have to have apprentices. You have to have
Gotcha.
understudies.
Yeah, you got understudies and actors you're hiring, and you're
Jewelry, costumes, lighting. You got to set up the stage. Get everybody in the theater.
Oh man, something else, man. You bid at the beginning of the round, and depending on how you bid determines where you go and take your turn every round. So you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go first.
Yeah.
I have to, because I need that gold tile.
Because there aren't very many gold tiles, and if you need them, you got to get them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That takes some time.
pretty cool.
It's an awesome game, though. I love it.
All right, Shipyard by Vladimir Suki. He of Pulsar's
2849.
2849 and Last Will.
Last Will.
Last Will.
Yes.
Games that we really, really liked, but we moved those two on, and this is his best game as far as I'm concerned, and it is wonderful.
Some people call it the rondelle game.
Because it
has 4 rondelles.
1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 rondelles on the main board. So you're like, oh my god. And it causes a lot of tough decisions. And I love games that have tough decisions. It doesn't matter if the rule set is complex or easy. If the decisions are difficult, the game is probably pretty good, and that's the way this one is. But you're building ships, and the way you put them together scores you points.
Then you send them out on a test run, and how far it goes determines how many points you get, and if you cross bonus spaces, and yeah, it's one we've thought about getting rid of, and then we play it again and say, no, that can't go.
And that game is probably pretty difficult to find. So
Yeah, it might be by now.
yeah, but we're not getting rid of it. She might have thought about it, but I never did. Okay. This is Vlada Chivato's Mage Knight, and Vlada Chivato is probably the most eclectic board game designer that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, he does code names.
His games are just all completely different from one another.
Yeah, it's not like Stefan Feld. You play one of his games and you pretty much know what you're going to be up against whenever he develops a game. Vlada Chivato.
Every one of his is different.
Yeah.
Completely.
And Mage Knight is the only adventure card board game that we have. And we've played them all. And we played everything. Gloomhaven and
Thunderstone Quest.
all
Shadow Rift. Dragonfire.
Yeah. I mean, and gotten rid of all of them, but I hang on to this game. I picked this up at a flea market for $25. And I picked this up and brought it home and watched YouTube on how to play it.
Which you have to do because it's got a lot of rules.
Yeah.
And the print in the rule book, you need a magnifying glass to read.
This game is so wonderful for me. And why I choose it over Gloomhaven, number one, is there's art on the cards, where in Gloomhaven there is no art. So I like that. And there's a picture on the back of the box. If you've never played this game...
It comes with painted minis. That's nice, too, because we don't paint.
Painted minis and painted castles.
Yeah.
And the world of a Mage Knight unfolds in front of you. I love that. You take a tile and you place it, and the world gets bigger, and the things that you're on your adventure that you're going to do, you have goals, things that you're trying to accomplish. It isn't just about killing things, and I really, really enjoy that part about it too. There's a lot to it, and as she said, the rule book, the print is ridiculously small, but in its favor, it has a how to play book in it, where it walks you through step by step so that it teaches you the game, and that is priceless. Yeah, this is probably one of the most popular solo games A lot of
Yeah,
solo gamers
yeah.
out there just absolutely adore that game. Laura and I play it in a competitive mode, and I love it a lot more than she does, and she plays it.
But I play.
Yeah, she plays it with me just to keep me quiet.
There we go.
King Domino. Bruno Cathala, I believe. Yeah,
Yes.
by Bruno Cathala. This is a perfect example of a game with a very easy rule set that is just simply fun to play. There are two versions. There's this one that's a giant, and there's one that's about a quarter of the size of this. Both games are the same. They're fantastic. The reason why we have the giant version is there's some beautiful, cute, funny art on those tiles, and you can see it a lot better, especially for us.
Old eyes.
Yeah, and we like to enjoy that artwork. And it has these great big huge meeples that you're putting when
Yep.
you're selecting your
And obviously
tiles.
this takes up a lot more space.
Yeah.
The small one takes up a lot, because it got a lot smaller footprint when you play it, but
But it's a quick game. You can reel off a game in 15, 20 minutes, and it's just a ton of fun to do
you're
so.
just building a square with dominoes.
Just good. And you score points by the landscapes.
Matching landscapes.
Yeah.
And they have crowns on them, and you multiply it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has a selection mechanism that's kind of fun of how you
How you
take the
pick
tiles.
what tile's coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a blast.
It's a lot of fun. For a quick, easy game, it's a lot of fun.
Great.
All right, here we go. Oh, we're getting down near the end here.
Okay, this is Navigator by Mac Gertz. Mac Gertz did Transatlantic, Mac Gertz did Concordia, and we had Concordia for a while, and we decided that we'd get rid of Concordia and keep this. And I love everything about this game over Concordia. I like Concordia, but this got the edge because it uses a rondel instead of a deck of cards for your action selection. And also the map of the board is, that's the...
Pirate map.
Yeah, it's like you can just picture. I mean, just the color palette of the main board is so much better than Concordia for me. And it just looks like something that some grizzled old clipper ship captain would throw down on the table in his quarters and say, "All right, here's where we're gonna go, and if the sharks eat us, they eat us." I mean, it's that cool. And even the box cover, I love the color palette and that. I don't know, it has that old world feel to it. Produced by Rio Grande Games. And I just love this game. We got this not that long ago.
No, we just got that pretty
yeah,
recently.
and we
too.
always had Concordia, but after I played this, that was it. I mean, I was sold on this
The board's
game.
a little smaller in this too.
Yeah.
Concordia has a
Oh,
huge board.
But I love this board game, and it's rocketed it's up in my top 30 of all time. As soon as I played it, that's amazing. Okay, and that was Navigator.
Yep.
This is called Saquero, and Saquero is a soccer game, as you can see.
The football game, it says right on it.
The football game. This is not American football. Okay, there we go. And you have two teams of 11 guys. You're going to place them on this board, and you have dice you're going to roll. One of the dice has a directional arrow on it that determines which way you can kick the ball if you're kicking, and that kind of thing. And I keep this because my son and I love to play this. My son played soccer all his life as he was growing up, and so I learned to love the game, and I love playing this with him. So we really enjoy Saquero. We hang on to it for that reason. Okay, the last game that we're going to talk about is a big monster by Vita Lacerda called Kanban EV. Go ahead. You got anything you want to say about it?
This is my favorite Lacerda game. We have regular Kanban, and we still kept regular Kanban, but we also got the EV version. We have an electric car. I wanted the electric car version. It's a big, deep Lacerda game, but to me, this game is the easiest of them to pick up and play after you haven't been playing it for a while. Some of them, if you haven't played them for a while, you're going to spend an hour in the rule book reminding yourself how to play. This one, you just move across the track. Or down the track. One of them is down, one of them is across, depending on which game you're playing. But it's easy enough to pick up. We've got a family history of people working in the automotive industry, so we tend to hang on to automotive games.
Well, this is a little... Oh, no, we
still have Kraftwagen, yes.
And Kraftwagen we love too.
Yes.
But this is a lot deeper than that, and you feel like you're making cars in this game,
Yes.
let me tell you.
You feel like you're building cars, pushing them off the assembly line,
It's
taking them to the
outstanding.
test track.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
And as she said, it's our favorite Vita Lacerda game that we've played. We just really, really enjoy this game, and we've sold all the rest of those games. And not that they're not fun,
No,
they are.
we
Hey,
enjoyed
Vinos,
them.
we loved it. Vinos, Gallerist, CO2, Second Chance, wonderful games. Absolutely.
Lisboa.
Lisboa, we loved all those games. They're just 2.5 hour games, most
Yes.
of those. And if we're going to keep one of them, we have to pick, and we picked Kanban EV.
And we hang on to the other one.
Yeah.
I don't know why, just because.
But this is wonderful. Okay.
And we're not entirely done.
Oh, we're not?
We have one more here.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. I'm sure, a lot of you gamers maybe have played this, but this is called Tumbled Dice. And we really, really love this game, especially when we have people come over to the house here that don't play board games. Tumbled Dice is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to flick dice. The rule set's so easy. So you're going to flick dice down this board.
Okay.
You flick it from up here. And wherever it lands, whatever level, it has a multiplier on it. And whatever value is showing on your dice, everybody's got a hand of 5 dice that's a different color. So if I'm the blue player, I got 5 blue dice. We're going to take turns flicking our dice down here. If I end up with a 5 value on a 3 multiplier level, then I'm going to score 15 points. And you can knock each other off of that level and knock them off the board even.
Yep.
So it's just a lot of fun. Like I say, you explain it for 5 minutes, and everybody walks around, takes turns, is flicking the dice, and it's a good time. You can even have a contest where you give away a gift to the winner. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And the other game I want to talk about real quick is an abstract strategy game also called Crokinole. And it's under our bed, the great big cover.
This is huge.
And our cat's sleeping on it.
It's our cat's bed, yes.
Yeah. It's a good thing we got that because my cat sleeps on it. She sleeps on it every day.
It's in a lovely padded case, and she sleeps on it.
She loves it. So she sleeps on it every day. But Crokinole is another flicking game where you're trying to flick discs across the board, a nice slippery board, and get them in a hole in the center. And there's a few other rules about that, but that's the basic goal.
It's one of those games that anybody can play, but it's difficult to do it accurately.
So yeah, and it's fast to teach, and again, it's a great party game to drag out and set on a table and explain in 5 minutes how to play, and everybody's like, oh, I want to play that.
Yeah.
And you're just flicking away, trying to do the best you can and score the best you can. So, okay, that's it. That's our board game library. That was really fun, and we really appreciate you watching. We appreciate your comments. We thank you for those comments and encourage you to ask us any questions you have about these games or tell us which games you think we should put in our library, because we had a guy suggest a couple and he says, I kind of got a feel for the taste in games.
I think you need to play Ispahan.
Ispahan, and I watched it played on YouTube, 2 or 3 different videos, and I said, you know what? I like the looks of that game. So we were able to get a copy on the
We're going to a board game convention
next week,
and they had one on the virtual flea market, so we're picking it up there.
Yes.
So we'll get to play that one.
We'll get to play that one. And then the other one was Firenze, which I've been looking for forever and can't come up with. But
yeah,
maybe someday I'll find that game, but in a reasonable price.
But we love when people give us ideas, because we're going to this convention finally, so we can play some of the games that people have suggested to us and give them a try. Yeah, they've canceled conventions here for 2 years running, and finally there's going to be one. But you know what? I'm still going to be very, very careful there. Oh, yeah. Because down here in Florida, there's a lot of sick people. Yeah. And so we're going to be very careful. I hope you are very careful and are doing okay. And again, thank you for letting us share our library with you. We hope you saw something that interests you. And again, check it out. Watch them play it on YouTube before you ever buy anything. Make sure it's something that you'll like. Did you want to do the total? Oh, yeah. Lori just reminded me. I wanted to tell you that was 171 games. Yes. 171 games we showed you. We showed you our library, and we told you how we thought about these games, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on The Bones Collector. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. 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 See ya.